Hi VC, back again for another video. I've just been watching Brad Vinyl Guy's last video. I think that he uploaded earlier on, and it was a really nice mix of like late 60s, lots of late 60s stuff, some really interesting looking stuff as well. But at the end he showed a selection of 10-inch singles, and I thought, I've got some 10-inch singles, and I've been meaning to kind of just show these just as a collection of 10 inches, or rather a load of 10 inches and one 9-inch. I'm sure you can guess which band released a 9-inch single. And I realised that some of the 10 inches that he showed, I've got other records by those bands, so I thought, right, well, let's just whack them out and get a video on them. So they're in no particular order, they're not even in alphabetical order. Usually I've got everything in alphabetical, but I've got so few of these I've never bothered. So here we go, we're just going to run through the whole lot of them. Right, first one is this one. This is the Birdhouse. This is Raw and Alive. And the Birdhouse were a British rock group in the late 80s, I think, sort of 87, 88, around that time. They did release a full album called Megalomania, and I can't remember whether I've got that or not. I'm sure I might have it somewhere. But this is good scuzzy rock and roll. Recorded live. Sure, it says somewhere. I'll just dive and get my glasses. Recorded in Germany, Saarbrücken, in 1988. And yeah, it's good old rock and roll, kind of that scuzzy thing that I was really into in the late 80s. So it mixed in really well with sort of that cult. I was heavily into the Stooges at the time, so it really mixed in well with that. And speaking of scuzzy rock and roll, Crazy Head, one of the Grebo bands. This is Time Has Taken Its Toll on You, the extended mix with Down and Ballad of Baby Turpentine on it. And I think, yes, I've still got it. I'm not sure, I don't know if I've ever had this. I must have had it out of the thing before, but we've got some sort of poster there. Looks like for a concert in Holland or somewhere, I think. Oops. There we go. That's not how it's supposed to go, but that'll do. So yeah, I love Crazy Head, and I think I was buying everything I could on vinyl. I think I own just about everything they ever released, I think. There we go. Cracking little 10-inch this next. This is Cracker. Do you see what I did there? And this is, hang on, because it's really badly low, which is, I think, is a terrific song by Cracker. This is, Cracker, of course, are the band that formed out the ashes of Camper Van Beethoven. Really good little song. Can't remember the B-sides. I haven't played these in a long time. I haven't played these before. But it's on a lovely coloured vinyl. I mean, look at that. It's just gorgeous. It's probably my favourite coloured vinyl that I own. Don't own many, but that's lovely. Really got into this. I picked this up at a car boot sale. And I think I showed it at the time I got it. This is Fluke. And this is, oh, for goodness sake. I really should do something about the lighting in here. This is Bullet. That's right. And it's got some remixes. There's a really funky, which one is it? There's a really funky Afro-funk mix. I mean, it's also got the classic instrumental and the jazz mix. But it's the Afro funk mix. He's really good, really funky there. Right, no doubt I'll have to keep dipping. It's I'm alright if the sleeves are white on black, but if there's like black writing on really pale, I can't see it. It's terrible. Right, here we go. Right, this is one of the bands that Brad Vinyl Guy showed. All About Eve, and I've got a few of theirs here. This is What Kind of Fool. Another limited edition. I don't think it's got an actual... It hasn't got a number this time, but I think they released quite a lot of stuff on limited edition. Well, limited. But it's actually got a really nice lyric book in here as well. So this is a really nice package actually. I think these are the lyrics to Candy Tree. It's the lyrics... Well, it's all different lyrics. They're not... I mean, Candy Tree was on a different single. More Than This Hour. Wildflowers. Another Door. I'd actually forgotten this was here. It's been so long since I had this out. These are the B-sides. Gold and Silver's a B-side. But they're B-sides to other singles that they released. There we go, on Mercury, I think it is. Yeah, they were on Mercury. Julianne Regan had a really gorgeous voice, absolutely gorgeous. Another All About Eve, couple of 10 inches I got. In about, I think it was 92. They completely they did a left turn album, and they got rid of all the goth hippie trappings, and it was actually quite sort of almost like 4AD stuff, sort of more like something that Lush would do. And the first single they released was this one, which was Some Finer Day. I think this was the first one. Was it this one, or was it? The album was called Ultraviolet, which I do have on CD somewhere in the collection. It's a really good album, but it is such a left turn. Such a left turn. I'm not sure which one of these came... I think this... Well, anyway, we'll talk about this. Some Finer Day. This is a great pop song, but it's sort of swathed in noise and electronics and all kinds of stuff. And they're doing a lot of different stuff on here. It really was completely different on a really dark green. Now, when you hold it up to the light, it's marbled, and it's actually really pretty. But there we go. And then they also released that year the Phased EP, which is this one, which is another great song. Some really good songs on here. I think this one's on black. Yeah, this is just black vinyl. But yeah, completely different. I forgot that was such a left turn album. I have to dig that out. Right, complete change of pace now. This is a band called Acid Rain. It's metal. There we go. United Kingdom Applecore. They were sort of a thrash band with a sense of humour, and Humanoia is the title of the song. Pretty good as far as I remember. I really should have played these before I got them out, but these ones I have not played for years. I'm talking years. I mean, I only picked these up when I went to collect my records sometime last year, and I just haven't got around to playing these. Another band that Brad showed, Lemonheads, he showed Into My Arms, which was later. This is It's a Shame About Ray. Really good. Sort of lumped in with grunge, but they weren't grunge, the Lemonheads. They were kind of like, they were just an alt band. Sometimes they used heavy guitars, but more often than not, they were pretty acoustic. And It's a Shame About Ray is such a gorgeous song. And you've got some previously unreleased tracks like Shaky Ground and Dawn Can't Decide, and you've got the Turnpike Down. Fantastic little single that is. Oh, one of the great indie singles of the early 90s. Was this released in 90? 1992. Yeah, because their debut was 91. The Verve, Gravity Grave. This is before the Verve became... Well, I still like the Verve. Even later, Bittersweet Symphony and all that. In fact, I love the Verve. But this was before that, when Richard Ashcroft was known more as Mad Richard, and he was strung out on drugs and just tripping his nut off nightly and doing all these messianic performances. But this is fabulous. Gravity Grave is such a brilliant single. Such a brooding, hypnotic bass line. And then you've got Endless Life, which is just drifts away. Oh my word. And then you've got She's a Superstar, which was one of their earlier singles, a live version of that. And that is just gorgeous. If you haven't listened to the early, notice there's no this is Verve, before they were forced to change their name by the jazz label. If you haven't listened to any Verve singles, then I'll check them out, because they're really, really good. Really good. Into grunge next. One of my favourite grunge bands, this lot, Soundgarden, and this is Hands All Over, from their second studio album, Loud Love. Yeah, there's the cover, and it's a really interesting way of opening it. It's kind of like you open it like this, and it folds open. There we go. So it's like a sort of an envelope. And you get lyrics, pictures. Let's put that down there for a minute. So it's quite a nice little package, actually. And they've got a version of Come Together on it, which is pretty rocking as far as I remember. And also they've got a version of Big Dumb Sex, which is basically I Wanna You over and over again. Big Dumb Sex. Is there Big Dumb Sex on? There we go. Brilliant piece of 90s, late 80s, early 90s indie next. Pop Will Eat Yourself, one of my favourite bands at the time. Another, well, they were well beyond Grebo at this point, but another Grebo band. This is Whines Up Sucker. You can tell I haven't had them out because the dust on them is just a ridiculous thing. You know, jolly good cleaning inside and out. So here we've got the 10-inch version of Whines Up Sucker with the 12-inch version and the 7-inch version, just for a lot of variation. There we go. Another gatefold sleeve. A lot of these 10 inches seem to come in gatefold sleeves. Not the most inspired design, but there you go. But Whines Up Sucker is a great song. Really great song. This one I completely forgot I had. This is Danny Wilson, and this is The Second Summer of Love, number 879, and I don't know how many. I remember liking this at the time, but I can't for the life of me remember how it goes. So celebrating, I don't know whether it was celebrating or whether it was a critical comment on the Second Summer of Love, where everybody's tripping their nuts on ecstasy. This lot probably weren't. But that's, I'm sure I liked. Oh, must be a reason why I've got that. Anyway, another change of pace. This one's a Dogs d'Amour. This is actually a full, well, it's a mini album. This is, Dogs d'Amour were, they took the Stones as their basis and basically went on drinking from there. So it's the most pissed up, drawled out rock based on the Faces and the Stones that you can imagine. Tyler, which is him, and he did all the artwork as well, was just off his face all the time. I think they're most famous for their song How Come It Never Rains. I think that was But this is an acoustic album. And you can just tell from the state of them, from the names of the sides. You've got Blue Blooded Bar side and the 5 inches of whiskey side. But it's good old barrel house rockabout bluesy rock. Is great. I like that. Limited edition number 10,415. Yeah, that's really limited. A little bit of indie next. I can't remember where this sort of from. I think they might be from Liverpool. This is Rain, and this is Lemon Stone Desire. This is a really nice song. Nothing to do with Liam Gallagher's Rain, the band he had before Oasis started. Nothing to do with that. That's why I think this lot from Liverpool. Lemon Stone Desire is great. Outback Blues is really good, and a couple of live tracks on the B side. Really good band. They were just completely. I think they've completely been forgotten about now. There were an awful lot of bands around the turn of the 80s, 90s that released a few singles and then just disappeared completely. This is really good. Next up, we've got Ministry, New World Order. This is steaming industrial. Just a great track. Samples George Bush to great effect. Got a brilliant 8-minute mix on the A side. And then on the B side is an album edit, and then Fucked. Well, that's the name of the song. But great. And I got this before. I think it's is it Filth Pig? No, it's not Filth Pig. Oh, I forgot the name of the album. Is it on here? Original from the forthcoming album. It doesn't say what it is. Psalm 69 or whatever it's called. It's got a really weird kind of name on the top of the cover. Anyway, it's that one. I think Jesus Built My Hot Rod was on that album as well. Brilliant stuff. A little bit of late period Mary Chain. Sound of Speed EP. This has got Snake Driver on it. A brilliant version of Little Red Rooster. Absolutely love that version. Right Record Release Blues. Well, we know what that's about. Because they were lazy buggers. Not really Reed Brothers, you geniuses. Right, or genii. But that's a nice little 10-inch I got picked up by them. Number 113. There you go. That's a nice long number, isn't it? And then this I was ecstatic to actually pick up. This is I bought this when it came out. Babes in Thailand. My Babes t-shirt that I got when I saw them in 1990. 91? 90. I've actually kept this in the shrink, and that's something I never ever do. Oh, it seems. Oh well. This is the Peel Sessions. So we've got some prime babes here. Catatonic Right, Primus, Spit to See the Shine, Pearl Dog, Love My Head Off, Mad Pilot. Released on the Strange Fruit label, which used to release loads of Peel Session stuff. But absolutely brilliant. Fantastic band, babes were. Absolutely fantastic. And after that trawl through, we're nearly at 20 minutes. Just enough time to 9-inch single. Did you guess who it was? 9-Inch Nails, there you go. So this is 9-Inch Nails, this is Sin. You've got Sin Long, Sing Dub, and a brilliant version of Queen's Get Down Make Love, which is absolutely brilliant. Best cover of a Queen song I think I've heard. It's really good. Actually, that's something that 9-Inch Nails did really well, was when they covered something, they covered it really well. They did a track on the Crow soundtrack, covered Joy Division, and it is a really good cover of Joy Division, Isolation. Really good. I like it as much as the original, which probably heresy to say, but it's true. I do. And that's actually a great soundtrack as well, The Crow. Really good. Wish I had that on vinyl, but on CD. Anyway, so there we go. My 10-inch singles. Big 10-inch records, as Aerosmith will want to say. So, hope you enjoyed that trawl through the late 80s, early 90s. I certainly did. I'm going to have to go and play some of these now, just to remind myself what is actually on the vinyl. So I'm in for a good time. So, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again soon, VC. Bye!